Hey, I'm Kristen Wood, and I am here with your weekly Kiss from Kristen. It's a keep it super simple tip, something that you can take away, implement, and start making your health and wellness journey much simpler than it's been. We tend to make it way too hard and complicated. And today I want to talk to you about the phrase that I bet you've probably heard: if you snooze, you'll lose. And what does that bring up in you? Does that bring up feelings of you're going to miss out? You, you're not going to get something that you want. And today I want to talk about how maybe there's a different meaning for that, and maybe you actually win when you snooze. So we're going to be talking about sleep, and I want to give you some reasoning on why sleep is important, and the not just that, yeah, we know we feel better when we sleep, but the actual biological reasoning on why we need to sleep and why it's affecting our weight if we're not getting the proper sleep. So stick with me. I might get a little windy on this because I'm pretty passionate about how this is a simple thing that we're overlooking. So maybe you feel like you're working towards a goal, you've got so many tasks to do around the house, and you just are always pushing yourself, and there's just not enough time to sleep. So where are you on the time frame that you do allow yourself to sleep every day? You need to know where you are at in the beginning. Back in the 40s, as a society, we averaged about 7.9 hours of sleep a night. And now today, we're only averaging about 6.5 hours of sleep. So an average means there's people with more, there's people with less. Where are you on that? You need to know where you are at on that scale. And you might not be recognizing some of the things that sleep is actually doing for you. So that's what I want to share with you today, is why it is so important, and maybe just shift your view on sleep a little bit, because I know I get in a rut that I know I've got a lot of things to do, projects, and I might not get the proper sleep. So let's talk about how sleep is the foundation of your health. And a foundation is important. If you build a house on a loose foundation, it's not going to be sturdy. And so sleep is that foundation for your health. I happen to love Matthew Walker. He does a lot of studies and really is in depth on sleep and the importance of it. And I really value all of everything I've learned from him. I just really appreciate. And he says sleep is the foundation of our health. So let's talk about how sleep affects your immune system. We're all talking about immune system these days. We all want a good immune system. And sleep is something that is going to affect your immune system. So if you, studies have been done around colds, because, I'm sure we're starting to do studies around COVID, but around colds, if you get 5 hours of sleep a night versus 8 hours of sleep a night, you are going to be 4 times more likely to catch a cold. That's I'm sure that's a virus that is similar to the COVID virus. So where you're going to want to make sure that you are getting enough sleep to help your immunity in preventing you from getting any sicknesses. Now, another study was done with healthy individuals, and they were, just in one night, they cut their sleep to 4 hours. And then they did tests and found that they had a 70% drop in their anti-cancer fighting cells. What? That's a big drop, and it's not cumulative. It's one night will do that to you. So It's really important that we focus on getting the proper amount of sleep every night. There is no project that you've got going that is worth a 70% drop in your anti-cancer fighting cells. And our nervous system. As a society, we are just constantly in overdrive. Our nervous system works with like a gas pedal and a brake pedal. And because of being in fight or flight mode all the time, because just our environment, we are always on the gas pedal. And so sleep is our way of pushing the brake pedal and letting our nervous system kind of recalibrate, reboot. So just getting sleep is nature's best blood pressure reduction medicine. So are you on blood pressure medication? Is that something that's being talked about for you? Maybe sleep. I'm not saying get off the medication if you're on it right now, but maybe sleep is something you need to add into your daily routine. How wonderful is that? We all want it. It's really important that you give it to yourself. So let's talk about sleep and your activity. If you're tired, it's going to be really hard to push yourself to go to the gym. It's going to be really hard to push yourself to get out of bed and do the workout in the morning. If you can push yourself, what is your intensity level going to be if you're tired? So sleep is probably hindering you from getting the daily movement that you need. The lack of sleep is hindering you from getting that movement. It's also hindering the intensity that you bring to that movement. Now, your diet. How is sleep affecting your diet? You may not even have a clue that sleep affects your diet at all. I know I didn't. But let's just say that you have made some adjustments to your food plan, what you are putting in your body. You have adjusted it and you're absolutely sure that this is going to show a reduction in the scale. Now, if you are not getting the proper sleep, that reduction that you're seeing in the scale, 70% of that could be a reduction in lean muscle mass versus fat mass. Nobody wants to lose their lean muscle. We work way too hard to improve our lean muscle. So getting the proper sleep is going to allow your weight loss to come from your fat cells versus your muscle cells. And that's what we're all looking for. So get the proper sleep. Now, another way that sleep affects our diet is we all have hunger hormones. We have two hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin. And I think of these, they kind of sound like little gnomes or gremlins. And so I consider these as like on each shoulder, like the devil on your shoulder, but I've got leptin on one shoulder and ghrelin on the other. And leptin, when you've got the proper sleep and it's working correctly, it tells you, hey, I'm full. You can stop. You can back away from the table. You don't need to eat anymore. Ghrelin, on the other hand, when you've gotten proper sleep, it lets you know that, hey, I'm not satisfied. I'm hungry. I need a little bit more. Go ahead and eat a little bit more and let's see how I feel. But when you don't have enough sleep, leptin gets really lazy and just doesn't talk to you at all. Doesn't let you know that you're full. And when you don't get the proper sleep, ghrelin goes on overdrive and just is constantly telling you, eat some more, give me some more, I want some more food, I'm still hungry. So what do? You eat uncontrollably. So the next time you feel like I just can't get satisfied, think about, have you had the rest? Did you sleep good the night before? Are these hormones just on overdrive because you're legitimately hungry? Or is your ghrelin hormone on overdrive because you're tired? You need some sleep. So we can solve most of our health issues with a little more sleep. It's not going to hurt anything. It's only going to be a benefit. And many of the symptoms that we have that we're going to the doctors looking for a prescription to help us with, many of those symptoms can be resolved with some sleep. So think about how you can add more sleep into your life. Now, I like to keep these tips really short and simple, and I feel like I'm kind of leaving you hanging because sleep can be hard for us. But I want you to know next week I'm going to be back with a tip on how to improve your sleep, how to help yourself get more sleep. And in the meantime, I want to leave you with a little homework. I want you to really know what's your baseline? What are you doing currently? It's really hard to say I need to improve on something when you don't even know where you're at. So start paying attention to what kind of sleep am I getting every night? What's the time? And is it good sleep? Am I up and down through the night? Kind of get a picture of where you are at, because you need to know where you're at before you can get to where you want to go. You could be way closer than you think you are. You could be way further than you think you are. So your homework until I come back next week is to start paying attention to your sleep, and even start noticing when you feel your leptin and your ghrelin getting lazy and going into overdrive. Pay attention. What was my sleep like? And start to see if you notice that your sleep is affecting these hormones. It is. You just might not have been noticing it yet. So I hope this has kind of opened your eyes to some reasons that sleep is so important, and how maybe by snoozing you can actually lose. And lose is just the weight that you've been hanging on to. So get some rest, and I will see you next week with some tips on how to get some sleep if it seems like it's super elusive for you. So see you then. Bye-bye.